Welcome back to the Angry American. Now let me start this video out by saying never bite the hand that feeds you. That's my message to Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. Now I'll also say that I agree with a lot of the things that's going through this guy's mind. There is definitely a military-industrial complex, and in no place is it more evident than under Biden's administration. You're coming at Donald Trump is a bad decision, my friend. You're biting the hand that feeds you. MAGA supporters raised millions to come to your defense. Millions, my friend. I think it's $2.4+ million raised to support you. Don't bite that hand. You're coming at Trump as if this one man, this one non-swamp creature is going to come in and completely change the entire system. You're expecting too much from one man who was attacked, sued, and impeached twice, okay? The swamp creatures are not going out without a fight. That's my message to you, Stuart. Listen, I agree. The military-industrial complex is full of corruption and swamp rats, and it needs to be fixed. But coming out and biting the hand that feeds you, and the MAGA supporters, the conservatives, the right-wing folks of the country, is a really bad decision, okay? And I'm over here on the pundit. It says, tell your son to stop tweeting about me. Quote, Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller insults Trump and his family. Bad idea. Well, this didn't make any headlines. Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller insulted Trump and his family, told his family to stop tweeting about me before his arrest. Now, this guy, everybody knows his story. Here's a brief little clip, and then I'll be back with the rest of the story.
People are supposed to advise, and I'm not saying we've got to be in Afghanistan forever, but I am saying, did any of you throw your rank on the table and say, hey, it's a bad idea to evacuate Bagram Airfield, the strategic air base, before we evacuate everyone? Did anyone do that? And when you didn't think to do that, did anyone raise their hand and say, we completely messed this up? This amalgamation of the economic / corporate / political / higher military ranks are not holding up their end of the bargain.
Now, as you see in the clip, I kind of agree with some of the things the guy's saying. I really do. I know that political and money and power are corrupt in the military and the government. It's obvious. You got General Milley. The military is a hot mess right now. It's never been more screwed up than I think it is now. But you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, little buddy. I'm just trying to help you out here. These people support you. They came to your defense and were happy to do so. So anyway, last week before he was arrested and sent to the brig, Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller went on a rampage against Trump and his family on Facebook. Scheller had this to say about President Trump and his family. President Trump, I was told by everyone to kiss the ring because of your following and power. I refuse. While I respect your foreign policy positions, I hate how you divided the country. Pause. He divided the country? No. The left used a positive influence and a power coming from the right to demonize that and split the country. That's what happened, okay? He did not divide the country. And I think I'll go on, when I get down to the bottom, he kind of tries to backpedal a little bit, but still say basically the same thing. Well, where are we at? I don't need or want your help. I think you do need and want his help. You do not have the ability to pull us together. Really? Who does? How are you going to pull together extreme Marxist with common sense Americans? You're not going to do it. You may even win the next election, but your generation's time is running out. Tell your son to stop tweeting about me. Your father, your whole family knows nothing about us or our sacrifices. I could never work for you. I'd rather sit in jail and be released with a dishonorable than make compromises in my beliefs. Now listen, while I respect your intestinal fortitude, Stu, you're really stepping on a rake right now. You really are, man. You're really stepping on a rake right now. I'm not going to read this whole thing. You guys want to read it, like pause the video and then read it and then move on. But there's the little clip that I just read down at the bottom. I will read this. They need us scared. They need us silenced. They need us divided. Fear, division, and ignorance facilitates control. Everybody understands that, brother. But you are distancing yourself from your support group, and that's probably a bad idea. He does go on to denigrate President Obama, great at speeches, obviously weak in intestinal fortitude. President Bush Jr., great at speeches, obviously ignorant in thinking he could import democracy. I think he went on, the rest of it's not there. Scheller followed up on his original comments with a second post on Sunday. To the people who stand with me, I've had such a strong reaction to my comments against President Trump. I felt a follow-up clarification was required. No, President Trump didn't divide the country. There you go. Now you're on to something. Here's the kicker. But President Trump, in my humble opinion, is incapable of bringing us back together. Did he expose the corruption in the DOJ, media, and other places? Yes. Was he right? Was he the right person to expose the corruption at the time? He says maybe. Who else would it have been, Stu? You? No, you don't have that platform, little buddy. Would I want to work for a leader like that? No. I want a leader that will bring us together. That's where your fantasy of this utopian society is just steering you down this path, and it's going to be a long, hard road, and it's going to come up empty, buddy. There's no way to unite this country at this point. I really don't think there is. So, I mean, that's where you're going to fuck up. You need to, obviously, you're going to have to pick a side, and you're trying to preach this utopian society that's just not possible, little buddy. You can't marry Marxist with free thinking people. It's not going to happen. These people are incompatible. Anyway, who cares? He wants us to consider his perspective. I've considered it, Stu, and I consider you're making a huge mistake. You're alienating a lot of people who would support you. Scheller currently sits in the brig. It is unfortunate that he sits in isolation for speaking truth about historic failures in Afghanistan. But it was not too bright to shit on Trump, Obama, Clinton, and Bush before he was arrested. MAGA supporters raised $2.4 million for Lieutenant Colonel Scheller. And I'm going to end it right there, folks. This video doesn't need to be dragged out. This guy, Stu, hey, I respect you have principles. And I agree with what you're saying about the military-industrial complex and the corrupt politicians that are in bed with corrupt generals and world leaders, and this amalgamation that you spoke about. I agree. It's there. But don't bite the hand that feeds you, brother. It's a bad mistake. Anyway, guys, that's my advice to you, Stu. You may never see this, but if you do, hopefully you get it. Anyway, guys, until next time, I need you to do something. I need you to like, subscribe, comment, share the video as much as possible. Do all those things, please, and thank you. And also, be aware of your surroundings at all times, because shit be popping off out here. Peace. Peace out.
Are you lost, sweetheart? Are you afraid, honey? Well, why don't you come with me?